I have two very important things to say. One is that I'm autistic. And two, this one's even harder to admit, it's that I wear socks and sandals at the same time. I know, I'm sorry. I don't know which one people will be more surprised to hear, but both are true. This is going to be an animated series of my personal experiences, and you'll never guess the name. Autism and... No, why did I write this? I used up all my time working on excuses why not to post this video, and I didn't have time for a title. Try and bear with me and stick over it. I literally need to stop. Sharing my story. Hi, I'm Stella, and I've struggled with how to bring this up for years. I've lived and dealt with autism my whole life, and I was diagnosed at a very, very young age. Sadly, there isn't a such thing as an autism switch. Off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Although, many people have tried. In this series, I plan to tell my story, one that I've avoided for quite some time. And I'm not quite sure how many episodes it'll end up being, but let's go and get started and No, I need to stop. Stop it. So, what exactly is autism? Something that I'm still trying to figure out myself. I'm gonna give my best shot of explaining it. Let me just start with this. I have never really liked the term disability, which is awfully ironic since that word is so common for me to hear in everyday life. Autism isn't something you can see, like mobility aids or other tools that can help. Autism is an invisible disability, but still a disability nonetheless. Just since you can hide it, it doesn't mean that it's not still there. Having these labels doesn't make you a bad person, or at least according to most people. There's different ways to describe people, and some people just never take the time to learn. And as someone with a few worldly labels, let me tell you, I'd much prefer to be talked about for being funny or something good about my personality versus being introduced as something else. Hey, wanna meet my friends? Honestly, not really. Oh, come on! I already told them about your autism, and you. Well, that's nice. I hope you don't mind that I won't be changing myself to fit whatever you said, and maybe next time you could get to know me first before telling my story, one that you don't fully know. Well, I know how it feels to be related to someone with autism. Does that count? It just takes some time to accept it all, to accept the fact that you're different, to accept the fact that others won't accept it, to accept the fact that you might need help with some things that others don't, to accept the fact that people will judge you based off a label without getting to know the real you, to accept the fact that people treat you differently and often not in a good way, and to accept the fact that some people hate you for having a label that you don't even know what it means yet yourself, one that you want to explain to other people, but not knowing how it'll turn out, or if they'll even stop to listen. So is it better to just stay quiet? In the case of autism, it's a huge spectrum and can mean multiple things. It's never going to be the same for everyone. Some people call it Asperger's. Others call it a type of neurodiversity. What I've heard most often is ASD, also known as autism spectrum disorder. Most people I've met seem to think it means autism stupid disorder. It hurts, but I'd still be able to make stupid choices even if I wasn't autistic. I think the biggest takeaway that people never understand is it's a spectrum. It can mean different things for different people. I chose to ask my good pal Google the definition of it. The internet never lies, and this is what it said. Difficult time with social interactions. Man, we're really starting off strong with that one. In my personal experience, that would be true. I absolutely suck at socializing and rethink and beat myself up so many times after each social interaction. For the next week, sometimes months, yippee! There's still some things that I think of that have happened literally years ago, and I regret every single second of it. Or realizing that it isn't quite normal to not be able to tell people's facial expressions apart. If someone's lying right to your face, you can't actually tell. Fun times! You can kind of learn with people you see a lot, but everyone expresses things in different ways, so it's kind of like trying to understand a video game and the rules change with whoever you're with and if you can actually see their face. I can say something that makes complete sense in my head, but when other people hear it, that's another story. It's hard when you confuse them, and them being confused confuses you, and then you wish you never tried. Also, I don't know if you could tell because I try to edit it out, but I really laugh a lot when things get awkward or if I don't know the right response to social cues. I've tried to stop, but my brain has other plans. No, please. I get it. It's not funny. Please stop. Please. Stop it. Black and white thinking. Lots of there's no in between thinking, which I guess can be a pretty bad thing. It doesn't always affect me with most things, but there is a few that it does. If I had to explain it, I'd say most people probably think right, wrong, and morally gray. For me, the black and white thinking shows up mostly if people are joking around and being sarcastic, which is awfully ironic because I'm a really sarcastic person. But for me, when other people are doing it, it's just hard to tell if someone actually means what they say or if they're completely trying to mess with me. My brain was wired to either 100% believe them or 100% liar, they're a pants on fire. I really do try my best to tell, and I try to avoid asking. I'm just often wrong. Therapy and stuff has helped with it a teeny bit, and it's kind of helpful to be completely oblivious when someone's making fun of you, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a seed of doubt for when someone says something good and they actually mean it, but you think they don't. It's trying to pull weeds of bad thoughts out of your head and burn them, but they keep coming back. It's also partially why I struggle with receiving compliments, since most of the time it doesn't really feel real to me. I can think of every reason it's not true, or someone has told me something the opposite of what you're saying in the past, and I don't know which one is true. In starting friendships, when you think you're friends, and you want to be, but it was never confirmed by both people, it's just overwhelming because I can't tell. In that type of situation, it's like a black and white thinking of friends, and nope, they hate my guts. And also, I've learned it's kind of offensive to ask if you're friends with someone and they're like, we've been friends for 2 years. But it was never confirmed. Paying attention. That's a good one. Wait, sorry, what did you say? Sensory issues. No. This one is really tricky for me. Easily the worst one by far. Do I struggle with it? That's an understatement. Bright lights aren't fun, which is a more common one, but most of the things I struggle with are sounds. Being able to hear your parents whispering in the other room talking about you, that's fun and all, until you realize there's no off switch. Ever. Even noise-canceling headphones don't help. I have good hearing, and probably always will. And it sucks. At the same time you hear them whispering, you can also hear someone mowing the lawn outside, and the sound of the fridge making noises, and seeing the lights flicker, and your grandma breaking her toaster again, and your other siblings downstairs raging over Fortnite, all at the same time. Like, dude, just because someone kills you in a video game doesn't automatically mean they're hacking. It might just be a skill issue. Just because of this, I've asked my brother to talk quieter once and got a really weird look and a strong talking to by an adult saying that he was talking at a normal voice level. But yet for me, it almost sounds like yelling. Well, more so like something on max volume with no remote to turn it down. I don't know if this next thing is autism related or just sensory issues or whatever it is, but I suck with temperature related things, like hot food or extremely hot weather. So, normally I just wait for it to cool down. I cannot drink hot drinks for the life of me, even if I try. Even hot chocolate for me has to become warm chocolate before I can drink it, and at that point, I should just drink chocolate milk. I've learned to laugh about it, but it isn't exactly fun explaining over and over and over again that I like coffee that's room temperature. Surprise! That's probably worse than socks and sandals. I know this is just a start to even trying to explain autism. I'm still just learning to accept myself and love myself as much as I love and accept others. I hope you can do the same. I guess the biggest takeaway is just give people a chance. If someone looks like they're struggling to communicate, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You shouldn't treat them differently. Do you know anyone who has autism? Or maybe you have it too. Let me know in the comments. More autism animated videos coming soon. This is only the start. So, what's next? I think the main goal of my channel is just to express how awkward I am without trying to hide it. I can make cool art and animations, crack a lot of bad jokes here and there, without the focus being on a label that I can't control. I do have autism, but I am not autism. I'm Stella, and you should subscribe. And stick- No. Man, I am so nervous to post this video. I've been really avoiding it, and that's not really surprising. To be honest, it's a huge part of my life and my story, but it's still something that I'm learning about. I guess the thought of maybe someone can relate, we'll see. Thank you all for the art, still shocks me every time. Why is there so much? And why is it still going? God bless, and stick around.